Well, hello everyone. Just a few weeks away from getting back on trail, and so it's time for me to go ahead and give you my hiking plans for the fall of 2025 through the spring of 2026. For those of you that were following my channel over the past year, I covered basically the entire year on the Bayou State Trail hiking it southbound. And I have 9.5 days left to finish for this year. So I'm going to be dedicating most of the fall completing that trail. Now, I have 3 days left in central Louisiana that I need to go back and finish. From there, I'm going to go ahead and start hiking into South Louisiana. And I'm going to try to start doing this fairly soon. I'm recording this in early September, and I know that it's going to probably take a little while to get a full day of hiking before it really starts to get comfortably cool throughout the day. So I'm going to be hiking probably a couple of half days to be able to get some of these days completed. So what's going to probably happen is you'll probably start seeing videos come out probably closer to the second half of October, and then it'll go through the rest of this year covering the Bayou State Trail. I want to finish the trail before the end of the year, which is why I want to get started a little earlier to be able to cover all of these days left. But there are a couple of sections that I'm waiting on to be open for me to be able to hike them so that I can finish. One of them goes back to the beginning of the trail on day 3. I had skipped it because at the time they were working on a bridge that's part of the trail, and so the road was closed. Well, they finished it, but then they started working on another bridge just shortly further down from that one. Now, if that one still is not open by the end of the year, I'm just going to find a way to work around that and hike as much as I can for day 3. And the other one that's closed right now is the old Atchafalaya Bridge that crosses from Berwick to Morgan City. I really want to be able to walk across that. It's the last couple of miles of the trail, and it's also probably going to be one of the more scenic spots along the trail because we're going to get a beautiful view across the Atchafalaya River going into Morgan City. So if I have to wait a little longer to be able to go and hike across that bridge in early 26, I'll do that. However, according to the DOTD website, they say they're about 90% complete. So they are supposed to be finished with that before the end of the year. Now, because of the way I'm going to be trying to finish this, I'm probably going to skip around again a little bit to be able to get all this covered. However, I'm going to just go ahead and wait to publish the videos when it's time to publish it day by day, not by the way I hike it. So in other words, I have day number 20 coming up, but if I hike that before I hike day number 12, I'm just going to wait on publishing day number 20. So there might be some slight delays, but more than likely, I would say probably by November, you'll probably start seeing a featured day on the Bayou State Trail pretty much once every week, or at least every other week. Now, regardless of when I finish the Bayou State Trail, I do plan on coming out with a live YouTube video shortly thereafter to talk about my experience on the Bayou State Trail and break it down by section, give some suggestions on things, possibly even have some updates at that point, because we are working right now on trying to get some more amenities added on along the trail. And then of course, answer any questions that you may have. So all of that should hopefully be concluding sometime by January, assuming, of course, again, if the bridge in particular across the Atchafalaya River is open and I can get that knocked out either before or after the holidays. So that leaves me with the first few months of 2026. I have a few short hikes planned to start the new year. The first one is located inside Kisatchie National Forest at the Kincaid Recreational Area just west of Alexandria. And the name of the trail that I'm going to be hiking is the Kincaid Loop. It's about 9 miles and it goes through the Kincaid Recreational Area. Now currently that recreational area is closed. They have been doing a lot of work the last couple of years or so rebuilding that rec area. There was some damage a few years ago from Hurricane Laura, and so they're upgrading a lot of the facilities, the bathrooms, the campgrounds, and of course that is probably going to affect the trail in some fashion. So I'm looking forward to that reopening so I can go and show all this to you, and of course show you what the trail looks like after the recreational area reopens. The next trail that I have in mind is located just outside of Hammond, which is about 40 to 45 minutes east of Baton Rouge, and that's in Tickfaw State Park. In that park, there's several short trails. They have several half-mile boardwalk loops that go across the park, along with a trail towards the end that's about 3 to 4 miles. So I've been looking at the map. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to hike all of it. I want to try to hike as much as I can, but it's more than likely going to be about a 6 to 7 mile hike based upon where I park, where I connect with all of these short boardwalks, and then of course hooking up with the longer trail. Now those trails, or at least some of those trails, were also closed for a while because of damage from Hurricane Ida back in 2021. They just reopened some of them earlier this year. So for those of you who haven't been back to the park in a while, or hadn't had an opportunity to at least go and hike all the trails in a while, this is going to be another set of trails that I'm going to be able to show that's been recently updated. Now, the next one, I've tried to do this for the last couple of years and it just didn't happen. 2 years ago, I planned on hiking it, but I fell behind trying to cover the Airkeeper Kisatchie Trail, so I postponed it to last year. Well, last year, I was trying to get more days in covering the Bayou State Trail, so I postponed it again. No excuses this year. I'm not going to have any long distance trails I'm going to be covering at that time of the year, so I do definitely plan on going out to cover the Richardson Creek Loop. It's about 9 miles. It's inside the Homachita National Forest, just east of Natchez, Mississippi. It combines 3 trails. Most of it is the Richardson Creek Trail, but there are a couple of other trails that it connects with to create that loop. I'm probably going to be doing that one in particular sometime starting in February. And the other 2 I just mentioned, I'm hoping to get both of those completed in January. Now, I do have at least 1 to possibly 2 other hikes that I plan on completing, but I'm not sure yet what they're going to be because I'm trying to use those as shakedown hikes. So it could be something new I haven't covered yet, or it could be something I go back and re-hike that I've covered on this channel before, and I'll just go back and show you what I plan on doing for my overnight. And the reason why I want to use these as a shakedown hike or shakedown hikes is because I'm going to be preparing for section hiking the Ouachita Trail. I've been talking to my friend John about this for several months. He's the person that's been hiking with me a lot since the beginning of the year on the Bayou State Trail, and he's done a few sections of the Ouachita Trail. For those of you that aren't that familiar with the Ouachita Trail, it's about 220 miles and it runs west to east, starting in eastern Oklahoma, and it finishes at Pinnacle Mountain State Park just outside of Little Rock. We're not sure yet what section we're going to cover, but we know that we're probably going to want to hit it sometime around late February to early March while it's still a little chilly but we may not be catching one of those winter storms that could be coming through where it gets sometimes below 20 degrees up in the mountains. And of course, on the flip side, we don't want to wait too late either, because as we all know, down in the deep south, when things warm up, it warms up very quickly. So I'm really excited about being able to go and do that. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, but because I've been wanting to cover several other trails here in Louisiana, particularly promoting the Arequipa-Kisatchie Trail and the Bayou State Trail, I postponed going out of state for an overnight backpacking trip. So I'm definitely doing it at some point around that time of the year. Outside of that, I don't have anything else definitively planned, being that I'm really going to be pushing out a lot of videos the rest of this year. And so I'd rather just kind of pace myself the first 3 months of 2026. And you never know, there might be some other things that I decide to cover. It may not even be a featured hike. May just go backpacking somewheres and show you where I'm backpacking, because what I really want to do starting next year is be able to start going back and providing variety. I've been very excited about the interest of the Bayou State Trail and being able to showcase that. And of course, I was very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to present to you the Arequipa-Kisatchie Trail 2 years ago. But I do want to start doing some other things. And so I feel that the first few months of 2026 is going to give me that opportunity. And it's more than likely going to be a sign of things to come over the next few years. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. If you want to get caught up on the Bayou State Trail, I have a playlist on my channel. You can go back and watch it. I have a few different clips that talks about the trail, talks about what my plans were when I started hiking it. But of course, it also has it broken down day by day on how I'm hiking it and how I would suggest others to hike it as well. Because once these videos come out by late October, I'm going to be picking up pretty much where I left off. And that way you'll have an opportunity, if you want, before I start covering the new videos for this fall, to at least get caught up on what's been presented up until this point. As always, I greatly appreciate all of you that watch my channel. It's hard to believe it's already going to be my 4th year that I'm covering videos on this channel, but I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I plan on continuing to do this for several years to come, and hopefully this is going to continue to encourage you and others to get out and experience the wide variety of great trails that Louisiana has to offer. So thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on another Louisiana trail.